Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The blood money, the introduction in the Hanbali school. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalam ala Rasul Kareem. Rabbana taqabbal minna zidna ilma wa hikma wa huda. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad abduka wa rasuluka nabiyyil ummi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam taslima. أعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا اللهم آتنا نفوسنا تقواها وزكيها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها لهم شكرنا أما بعد. All the praises belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah made this world, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to make the akhirah, the hereafter, and that's Rabbul Alameen. So we all do all the things for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and may Allah's blessing and peace be upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Today we're going on the chapter of the blood money, the Diyat, and this is by Imam Sunnah Ahmad Ibn Hanbal in the Hanbali school, who explains the rules based on the hadiths from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the blood money is what happens is if a person, they injure somebody else or they kill somebody else, and normally speaking, a person, they're retaliated for that same injury, eye for eye, ear for ear, and so on. But then what happens is a person, what they do, instead of doing that, they do the blood money. And that's the case if they did accidentally, then they pay the blood money. If they killed somebody accidentally, then they pay the diyat, they pay the blood money, instead of getting the same thing happen to them if they did it on purpose. So this is what it talks about, the general rules for it. So this is the introduction to it. There's other chapters that go into more detail about it. Okay, would you like to read the first one, Sheikh Lisan?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ad-Diyat.
Yes.
The blood monies, plural, jama.
Yes.
Okay. Diyatul al-hurru al-muslim.
Yes.
The blood money for a free Muslim
Yes.
is alfu mithqali min al-dhahab.
Yes.
So 1,000 mithqal of gold,
Yes.
which is 3.5
So
kilograms.
what happens is if a person, they kill somebody else, it doesn't talk about whether on purpose or not. That's a different issue. If a person, they do it on purpose or accidentally, and what the person have to do is they have to pay the blood money to the other person, or that person is killed also. Life for life, right?
Yeah. But if for whatever reason, if blood money occurs, then these are the numbers.
Right, this is the amount that you have to pay for the
It
blood
doesn't matter
money.
why it occurs.
Yes. And what happened is the reason that you have, well, we'll talk about that in the camels.
Yeah.
So the Sheikh, he says,
So,
1,000
Okay.
mithqals of gold.
So
which
1,000 mithqal. What is a mithqal?
Mithqal, they say like a dinar, 1 dinar. So
Okay.
it comes out to be approximately 3.5 kilograms.
Is this what mithqal, like mithqal dharrah?
No, that's
different?
difference, much difference between it. Mithqal dharratin, dharra is like a very tiny amount.
But
So they
mithqal
say-
is like weight, huh?
Yes, this mithqal is like a dinar.
Okay.
Dinar is like a coin that they had, so they use the same. It's like very similar. I think it's really the same thing, pretty much.
Okay.
But usually they say with a dinar they say 4 grams,
Okay.
but the mithqal they say it's like 3.5.
Okay.
So it's the same thing pretty much, but these things are not exact. When you look at the text,
Okay.
the Islamic text, it's not down to the precision on it is not like down.
Got
Not
it.
so much great
Okay.
precision. They have different amounts that they say. Even for the dinar, some people they say 4.5. Some people they say 4. Some people they say 3.5 on the dinars. But over here, though, the people they usually say it's 3.5 grams for each mithqal, and then altogether it comes to 3.5 kilograms, 1,000.
How much is that, I wonder?
Oh, that's a lot of money.
3,500 grams. So
Yes.
I think that each gram costs like $100.
Right. Yes. Now it
So
does.
3,500. So $350,000.
Yes. Yes.
That's
It's
okay.
of
That's a
money.
lot. But it's a whole life. I mean, that's a big deal.
Right. Yes. That's how much it is.
Okay. أو 12 ألف درهم.
Yes.
So or 12,000 dirhams.
Yes, and that's a very straightforward figure. The time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the way that they bought and sold things were coins, real gold and real silver.
Yeah.
And they had 2 different types, either gold and silver. So the gold was much more valuable, the silver was less valuable. And the exchange rate was, it varied, sometimes 8 dirham for 1 dinar, sometimes it was 10 dirham for 1 dinar, sometimes it was 12 dirham for 1
So
dinar.
here it looks like 12 is what they're doing.
Right, that's what they have.
But
that's what
here's
they
the
have
thing,
here.
nowadays the silver is very cheap.
Right, yes.
So I think
yes.
1 dirham, how much is that? How many grams is that? Is it the same amount of grams?
Yeah, it's very close to it. It's a little bit less. I
So
think, on
if
the,
it's
the
then
one.
if we go by this number, then 3.5 kilos times
Yes.
1,000. Sorry, 12.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mm,
Be
it's
42,
39 kilos. No, sorry.
42 kilos, I think, right?
Okay, yeah, 42 kilos.
Yes.
So 42
silver.
kilos of
Silver.
Of silver.
Right.
So that's 42,000 grams.
Right. Yes.
But each gram only costs like $1.
Yes. Yes.
So
it's
then
much
all of a
less.
sudden this is like $42,000.
Yes. So nowadays silver is much cheaper than the gold.
So
Gold
as
is
opposed to
much expensive.
350,000, you're
Right,
paying
yes.
42,000, which
Yes.
is like very cheap.
Yeah, the thing is, when you look at these rules in the different ages, different societies, things are a little bit different. So this was in the time of Ibn Qudama, and this was in his age, which was 700 years after the Hijrah,
Yeah.
and he was there in Syria, and that was back in the old days also when they had the same like exchange rates between.
So
the
what
gold and
happened,
silver.
Sheikh? Why is silver so much cheaper now than gold?
I guess it's the demand. People they want gold and people they don't want silver, so then the price just goes up. The gold is very volatile; it changes every day. The value changes.
Yeah.
And even in the course of a year, it could go as low as like 20 a gram up to 100 a gram in the gold. So sometimes it does that. So it is very volatile.
In addition to that, Sheikh, okay, what about now? What do we go by then? Do we go by the silver value or the gold value?
Well, we have to go by the ulama. You have a rule that we have the ijma of the ulama. So we really need a committee of ulama to get together and make these rulings pertaining in today's day and age.
The same thing for the nisab of the zakat is either
Right,
gold or
yes,
silver, right?
yes,
So if we go with the gold, it's like 10 times more.
Yes.
If we go
So
with the silver,
that
it's like
usually
10
they
times.
say to go with a lesser amount because it's more virtuous for a person to pay the zakat than not pay it. So then they say go with a lesser amount, then more people will pay it. That's what they would say if you have the two differing amounts.
Okay. Now, and of course that doesn't matter because there's no nisab limit for receiving the zakat. Like you could receive the zakat to any amount in the Hanbali school, yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's
The
just a Hanafi thing.
Hanafi school, they have that ruling. Either you pay it or you get it. But the Hanbali school, the other schools, they don't go by that. No.
So even the giver of zakat can receive zakat. Seems kind of strange.
It doesn't mean that that if a person, if they have more than the nisab saved up, that they don't, that they're not eligible to receive it. They have some of the ulama. They say that if the person's expenses are more than the income, then they'll be given the zakat. Not necessarily if he has a lot of stuff.
Specifically, Sheikh, what happens if? And this is unrelated to the topic here, but what happens if his expenses are more, but that's because it's not because he needs it, it's because he's like just not irresponsible with his money, like he's just spending more. He should be spending less. So he has a spending problem.
Yeah. Sometimes a person, they have a choice on where to give it to. So the person, they could try to ascertain that the person.
Like if this is like this person just
Right,
wasting
yes,
money, like
yes.
you don't want
They
to
could
give
do
it
that.
to
So
that guy.
that's another issue of a person if they're, but the thing is, that's his choice. That's his money. Once he gets it, you don't really have a right to tell him how to spend the money.
No, of course.
afterwards, no.
But what I'm saying is, you get to choose who to give it to.
Right. Yes, you have that choice there. Yeah. So you have. I mean, that's. For the most part, you have that. But sometimes what happens is, if you have a Muslim government, they send the zakat collector and tell the person how much is due, and it's their
And then they
job to do
distribute
that.
it.
So maybe that's something they can consider doing when they're giving the zakat out, and to make sure that the person they're not addicts and things like that. So that's another issue.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. أو مئة من الإبل or 100 camels.
Yes, so this is the one that's normally known as the Diyat, because this goes back to the grandfather of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So what happens? Interesting. This is not Jahiliyyah. This is not the time of Islam. So he said that if I have 10 sons, I'm going to slaughter my 10th son. And who was the 10th son? It was the father of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Right.
So then he went to the soothsayer. So the soothsayer said, throw the dart. Every time the dart misses, then you do 10 camels. So originally it was 10 camels, the blood money. Then it kept going up to 100 camels. Then after that, he became satisfied. I slaughter 100 camels, so now I can keep my son alive. I don't have to slaughter my son. So then it changed, from 10 camels to 100 camels.
Okay.
And then it stayed like that after the time of Prophet Muhammad. So that's where you have 100 camels.
So here, Sheikh, so it looks like at that time, 100 camels were worth about 1,000 dinar, or 1,200. Oh, sorry.
Right, yes.
No, sorry. I mean 100 camels. So each camel was worth like 10 dinar.
Right, yes.
Or 120 dirham.
Right, yes. So now it's much more expensive now.
The camel is worth more than 10 dinar?
Yeah, they're very expensive, the camel.
Well, 10 dinar are... $35 grams. 35 grams is $3,500.
Yes.
Okay. So 10 camels. So you can't get 10 camels for $300. Sorry, a camel for $3,500. You can. That's about right. Right? It depends on the kind of camel, Sheikh. Camels are not that expensive, I think. Right?
Yeah, you see like what the prices these days. They have they are quite expensive.
So in the US, for example, they cost like between 5 to 20,000 apparently. But that's different. But in Australia, you can get a camel for like $900.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay, so
Or I don't know what's going on.
yes, they have different prices and different.
Does there have to be a specific kind of camel?
Yes, it does. That's coming up later on. We'll talks about that.
Seriously?
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep. So the 100 camels, that's like the baseline. That's what was in the time of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and before the time of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Then the ulama, they gave the equivalent in gold and silver for the camels to be equivalent to the 100 camels. That's why you see the other figures that are there.
They're saying in the US it can cost like $10,000.
Yeah. So, yeah, there are different amounts in different countries.
What if I wanted to buy some in okay, let's see. Here, I have a camel here. You want to buy one? $2,500
Oh, is it?
in Australia.
Mm.
For $2,500, you can get a camel from Australia. Okay, so
Yeah, but then you have to ship it over here, so then it's gonna.
why?
That's why the price is
You're
much
gonna pay
more.
them an actual camel? Well, they probably don't want the camel. Okay,
Well, that's the blood money that you have to give. And what the ulama they did is they gave the equivalent of its value.
Yeah.
That's why they mentioned the mithqals and the dirhams and the silver.
Okay,
Because
so
that was
it's about
equivalent to that.
roughly like about $250,000 to $350,000. Right?
Yeah, that's what it comes to. So if you instead of doing the camels, you would go with the gold value, because that's more easier to do in today's day and age. So.
Yeah. Okay, so for blood money, okay, so here, فإن كانت دية عمدة فيها عمد فيها
Yes.
30 حقه و30 جذعة و40 خلفة ومن الحوامل.
Yes.
So for blood money of killing intentionally is 30 3-year-old she camels and 30 40-year-old she camels and 40 pregnant camels. Oh my God.
Yeah, so all the camels, there's different types. And the age makes a big difference in the value of the camels, So if you have a camel that's twice as old, it's like worth 2 camels that are younger. So the value of camel makes a big difference in the age.
What's going on with the she camels here? Why can't they be male camels?
That's the ruling. She camels are more valuable because they give birth.
Of course.
The male camels are not going to give birth, so they're not as valuable.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
And 40 pregnant camels? That means
Right, yes,
40 plus 40 you're getting later.
Yes, so
That's a
what
lot.
the rule says, That's what it goes by. Because that goes by the hadith of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So you mentioned these things in the hadith.
Astaghfirullah.
Okay, so you have.
This is for killing
you have these
intentionally.
terms. So you have the different age camels when you look at the rulings for the camel. You have the jada, and then you have the hikka.
What is the jada?
Jada is, I believe, a 3-year-old.
Yeah, okay, so let's look at the Arabic here, Sheikh. فَإِنْ كَانَتْ دِيَةُ عَمَدُ. So this is, if it's a blood money that's required, on purpose, because someone
Yeah, somebody killed somebody on purpose, not accidentally.
Yeah, فِيهَا 30 حَقَّهُ.
Yes.
So it has 30 حَقَّهُ.
Hikka.
Not حَقَّهُ, حِقَّهُ.
Yes, hikka.
What is
And
that?
The hikka is a 3-year-old going on 4 years, between 3 and 4 years, the age of the camel.
30 حقة
Yes.
و30 جذعة.
Jada, yes.
جذعة.
Yes.
4-year camel.
Yes, going 4 years,
But again,
going on 5 years.
جذعة, which are female camels.
Right, yes.
و40 خلفة.
Yes.
What is خلفة?
Khalafatun means pregnant.
Pregnant.
Yes.
So now, how old are the pregnant camels? Can they get pregnant while they're 3 or 2 or what's up?
Yes, it doesn't mention the age for the pregnant.
So any age.
Right, yes.
وهن الحوامل. Okay.
Yes.
خلفة وهن الحمال.
Yes, yes.
Okay. وتكون حاملة في مال القاتل.
Yes.
It should be from the wealth of the killer.
Yes, this is talking about purpose killing. If it's purposely killing, then it comes from the wealth of the killer himself, not his clan, not his relatives.
So, who has 100 camels? Like, it's a lot of money. I mean,
No, people, they have them over there. This is talking about the whole clan. Because usually back then, they didn't have a government for the whole country. They had different tribes. So the tribe, there'd be so many people in the tribe. But a single
person, where do you get a single person having 100 camels? That's a lot of money.
Oh, they have it there, because that's how they did the things. When they went on a caravan, they would bring so many camels with them to go do the trading. And 100 camels is quite common for people to have several hundred camels that they had, they owned.
I mean, considering the fact that you would need like one person per camel to go on your caravan, right? I mean,
no, you don't need the same number of people as camels.
You can link them together and take them or whatever. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. وإن كان شبه عمد.
So we talked about that before. That's if a person, they wanted to hit the person or harm the person, but not to the extent of killing him, but then the person ended up dying.
How do you say the Arabic, Sheikh? Amdun, amadun.
Shubha amdun.
Shubaha amadun.
Shubha means to resemble, to imitate, and amadun means on purpose.
Shubha amadun.
Shubha amadun, yes.
Okay. فكذلك في أسنانها. For quasi killing, it is likewise in years.
Yes, the same years as the camels. That's
so it's like you were not actually intending to kill the person. You were intending to just hit them or whatever.
Yes.
You accidentally killed them,
right,
but you were still hitting them.
Right. You did something wrong by hitting them, or did something else to harm the person.
So it's not manslaughter. It's like accidental murder.
Yes, but the person they meant just to harm the person, not to the extent of killing, but then the person ended up dying.
So the years are the same even for that.
Yes, for that.
وهي على العاقلة في 3 سنين, and it is on his clan for 3 years.
Yes.
كل سنة ثلثها, every year a third.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means the tribe that the person's in, his clan. What they do is he just doesn't pay it out of his own self. His clan, they cover it.
What's the 3 years got to do with it?
They pay like 1/3 each year. 1/3 the first
like
year, 1/3 the second year.
33 camels,
Right, yes,
34 camels, like that.
The third year. There's a whole lesson on who the Akila is. There's a lesson coming up.
Yeah, this is like clans, like cousins and stuff.
Yes,
right?
that's the next lesson
Uncles,
that's coming up after this.
Okay. But specifically, his clan is responsible for paying it, but they have to pay it off in 3 years.
Right, his relatives. The other one, when he did it on purpose, only he pays it off. His clan doesn't pay anything. But this one here, when he does it, the Shubul Ahmad, which is that he tried to harm the person, hit the person, but then he ended up dying. So then his clan, they paid on his behalf. There's a whole chapter that's coming up next. The next
it's actually
chapter.
easier to get the clan to pay than for one person to pay, right? Because
it's like who takes the responsibility, for it. That's the thing about it. So it's
yeah. Okay. وإن كانت دية خطأ, if it is the blood money of making mistake, فهي على العاقلة كذلك, and it is likewise on the clan.
Yes.
Okay. إلا أنها 20 بنت مخاض و20 ابن مخاض و20 بنت لبون و20 حقة.
Yes.
And then وعشرون جذعة. Except for that, in the case of accidental killing, mistaken killing completely, you got 21-year-olds, 21-year-old he camels, 21-year-old she camels, and then 21-year-old he camels.
Yes.
22-year-old she camels, 23-year-old she camels, and 24-year-old she camels.
Yes.
There's no pregnant camels going on.
Yes. So these here, the years altogether are much less. So it's less expensive than the previous examples there.
So we got 1-year-old, 20 male female.
Yes.
And we got 22-year-old, 23-year-old, and 24-year-old.
Yes.
This is a lot easier.
Yes, it's less expensive than the other one, because each year adds like a significant amount on the value of the camel.
Well, how do you get them to be that specific age? That's kind of strange.
I mean, when they give birth, then you keep track of how long they've been alive for.
But what if they're 5-year-olds? You can't give them?
Yeah, you can give a 5-year-old more valuable, so that you can give one more expensive.
Oh, okay. So how old do the camels get? Let's see, camel lifespan.
You're talking to a city person, so
40 to 50 years, Sheikh. That's a long
no.
time.
No.
So you get like a 30-year camel. That's fine.
Yes, I guess back then maybe they didn't survive that long. That's why they had the younger ones more commonly, the 1-year-old bint laboons and things like that. So, yeah.
We didn't really know how long. It looks like we don't really know how long they used to live. Maybe 30 years or something in the past. I don't know. Anyway, so now keep going. Let's see. ودية الحرة المسلمة تصف دية الرجل نصف دية الرجل. The blood money for a free Muslim woman is half of the man.
Yes.
ودية الحرة المسلمة نصف دية الرجل, and the blood money of the free Muslim woman is half of that for a man.
Yes.
Okay. Why? Just cause?
Well, you see an inheritance, right? Zakari Mithla.
Yeah.
So that's what they have, and usually in those societies they valued men to be much more valuable than women. So that's how they have it. Anyway, this is the rules that came to us. We're going to follow that. So the women, they should not feel that Allah gives twice as much to the man and half to the woman. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands. And then bear in mind also that the men are the ones that spend. And the women,
and also, I guess in that society, like if you lost a man, then you lost a person that's going to earn money. You know, I guess that's interesting.
Yes, so those things there.
The clans are interested in.
So anyway, these are the rules from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a person, they have to follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not their feelings, not their opinions and ideas. That's not what it's about. And that's the thing for the ilm. When a person, they learn the ilm, they have to disregard everything from their own opinions and feelings and follow the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says.
Okay, وتساوى جراحها جراحه إلى ثلث الدية. So the blood money for injuries is the same as men up to 1/3 of the diya. What's going on here?
So what happens is you've injured a part, then what you do is you give a portion of the whole diya. Like a finger, you give 1/10 of the diya, for example. So the women, if it's less than 1/3 of the total diya, then they get the same amount as the men for injuries.
Wait, say that again, the last part?
If it's less than 1/3 of the whole diya, the woman gets the same as the man for the injuries.
Oh, okay. So, for example, if she gets injury, let's say she gets a finger.
Yes, read the next one, then we'll talk about that example.
فإذا زادت صارت على النصف. Then if it exceeds a total more than 1/3, then it is halved for each injury of a man. So, for example, one finger will be 10 camels, 2 fingers will be 20 camels, 3 fingers will be 30 camels, but 4 fingers will be 20 camels?
Yes. Okay, because the one finger is 10 camels, that's less than 1/3 of the diya.
Yeah.
2 fingers, I mean, it's the same as the man. The woman and the man is the same. 2 fingers, 20 camels, is less than 1/3, so it's the same. 3 fingers is 30 camels, that's still less than 1/3, so the woman gets the same as the man. But 4 fingers, it becomes 20 camels, because it's more than 1/3. So now she gets half as much now.
Well, that's kind of strange. I mean,
yes,
it's better to chop off 4 fingers than 3.
Right. That's the rules for it now. Some of these rules, it's it doesn't. You don't go by the logic. You got to go by this strict rules. So 3 fingers, they only pay 30 camels, but 4 fingers only 20 camels, because up to 1/3 it's the same. The man and woman is the same. But if it's more than 1/3, then she gets half.
Then she gets half.
Right, half of the injury for the man for the diya.
So I guess if we're gonna cut off any woman's fingers, we should cut off. If you cut off 3, might as well cut an extra one.
Cut an extra one off, then you have to pay less, because that's the rule for it. Up to 1/3, it's the same. Up to 1/3 of the diya, up to 33.1/3 camels, it's the same. But then when it becomes more than that, then it's half.
No, I understand, Sheikh, but the issue is that why not go equal up to the 1/3, and then everything on top of that you build a house?
These are the rules that came to us. It's not going by logic, Even some cases, a person, they might do a lot of injuries to another person, and it'll be more than the diya. It'll be twice as much as the diya. Whereas if they killed the person, it will be a full diya.
Yeah.
But, so sometimes you have scenarios where that happens also.
So if someone
that's
cuts 5
interesting.
fingers, then he gets 25 instead. 25. Then
5
6
fingers,
fingers.
50 camels. That would be half.
Yeah,
But
25.
more than a third,
Yeah.
then the woman gets half as much.
Yeah. So then you'd have to go all the way up to 6 fingers in order to get back to 30.
Right, yes.
So, okay, so 5 fingers and
5 fingers.
4 and 5 fingers are really problematic.
5 fingers is 50 for the man,
Yeah.
and the woman gets half as much, so it's 25 for the woman.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yes. But up to 1/3, up to 30 fingers, it's the same. Up to 3 fingers.
It wouldn't really make sense to me that a judge would say something like that. Like he has one woman here who lost 3 fingers, and then he has another woman there who has lost 4 fingers, and he says you get less and you get more. This is a very strange rule.
Right, yes. It doesn't go by logic, you got to go by the rules that are there that came to us. You can't go by logic on the things,
But-
in these rules that
I
we
mean,
have
is
here.
there a lot of evidence for saying that this is
Yes,
exactly the
yeah,
case?
that's what it says, because that's what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said. There's a hadith that says that from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It says up to a third it's the same, and more than a third, and she gets half.
Yeah.
So all these things are the rules that's mentioned in the Hanbali school and Ahmad Ibn Hanbal. It's all based on the hadith from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Yeah.
So sometimes the rules are a little bit different than logic. It's just like the wudu, if you pass the gas or you urinate, right, you have to do the whole wudu again. So if you go by logic, so why are you washing your face and your hands? Wash your private part, that's it. But that's the rule for it. The same thing goes.
Okay. So, wadiyatul kitabi, nisfu diyatul Muslim, and
Yes.
the blood money of a kitabi is half the Muslim.
Yes.
وَنِسْوَؤُهُمْ عَلَى النِّصْفِ مِنْ ذَلِكَ, and half their women are half of that. So, for
Right.
example, so they only get 50 camels for the men and 25 for the women.
Right, exactly. And the Kitabi is Christian and Jewish people. That's what they have.
وَدِيَةُ الْمَجُوسِ ثَمَانِمَائِةِ دِرْهَمْ.
Yes. Thamaniyah, 800 dirhams.
800 dirham. So the blood money for a Magian is 800 dirhams.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, that's based on the hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so that's why they have that.
That's like
Yeah, they consider people Ahlul Kitab to be
5%.
more valuable.
no, I got you, but that's only like 5% of. Is it 5%? 800 over 12,000. No, yeah. So
15%, I think.
it's no, Sheikh. It's 6.66%. So for some reason, the Majusi only has 6.66%, not even half.
Right, yes.
So
Yeah, this is based on the hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So
Yeah.
these things here, you try to go by the logic, then it's going to be off. It's not according to the rules. So these are rules that you have. So 800 dirham for a Magian, Majusi, fire worshipper, and the women, they get half of that, 400 dirham.
okay.
The blood money for a Majusi.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, and then وَنِسَاؤُهُمْ عَلَى النِّصْفِ مِنْ ذَلِكَ, and the women get half of that.
Right, yes, 400 dirham for
So
Majusi.
what happens? Who are the Majusis here, Sheikh? Are they still alive or they're gone?
Back then they used to worship the fire,
Yeah,
and Salman
Farisi.
Farisi used to be
His
one
family
of the
from the
persons
Persian
that used to kindle the fire. His father or his family used to
Yeah.
be that, so then he left and believed in Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that was a faith. They were a huge empire back then. They used to rule the world. You had the Roman Empire and the Persian Empire. And the Persian Empire was Majusi. That was their faith.
Is it that they used to worship the fire, or only that they used to keep the fire? Because there's a difference.
They said the fire was their god.
Oh, that's what they
Fire
used to say.
worshippers. Yep.
Fire is their god.
Yes.
That fire or all fire?
You'll see the details of their belief, but how they go by it. But they say fire is their god, which is completely untrue. Fire can't do anything. It's the creation of Allah
Of
subhanahu wa
course.
ta'ala.
ودية العبد والأمة قيمتها
Yes.
بلغة
بالغة.
Huh?
بالغة.
بالغة
Okay, what this means is, if you have a slave and a person that killed a
ما
slave,
بلغت.
then the diya for it is the value of the slave. The slaves are
Yeah.
property.
Yeah.
So that's what they say.
So if
For a
you
slave
kill
man or slave
and
women.
you had blood money for the slave, you pay the value of the slave.
Yes, and the reason I say the sheikh there, you put the baliga, is sometimes you have slaves that are not completely slaved. They're like half free and things like that. So you have that issue because sometimes you have
So what do you do
kitabi slaves,
Yeah.
the ones that are paying off their freedom. So they paid off half their freedom, so they're half slave and half free. They have
Okay.
sometimes. So it says baliga, that means completely enslaved.
Mbalagha. Okay.
Yes,
Okay. So the one who is completely a slave, where they have to pay
their
the
value.
value. Okay. ومن بعضه حر ففيه ففيه بالحساب من دية
Yes.
حر
Yes.
وقيمة عبد.
Yes. So if you have a slave that's half free and half slaved, so you pay half of the value of the slave and half of the blood money.
Well, you should not kill half a free person. That'd be kind of tough. That's a lot of money. Yeah. A slave, I think, wasn't that expensive back then. But then the
Right,
free
yes.
man is
Yes,
worth a lot.
Worth a lot more. So the slave, they pay the value of the slave. If the person that killed the slave, that's the rule for it, for the diya, the blood money for it. And if the slave is partially free, then he's got to pay that partial amount in the blood money, and the rest in the value of the slave.
Yeah.
That's what the sheikh says.
So دية جنين إذا سقطت ميتا.
Yes.
دية جنين إذا سقطت ميتا.
Yes.
The blood money for a fetus that ميتا غرت عبد أو أمة قيمتها خمس من الإبل.
Yes. So what happens if somebody, a woman that was pregnant, and they caused her to have a miscarriage with a child, then they have to pay the blood money of a slave, a male or female slave, he says. And the value of that, the sheikh, he says, is 5 camels. So I guess that's what it was worth back in the time.
Okay, so ودية جنين إذا سقطت ميتا. Okay, so
Yes.
for example, there's a woman that's pregnant,
Right.
and then someone accidentally makes her fall or something.
Yes. Gives her a miscarriage.
Yeah. غرت عبدا. What is
Accidentally. Gharat means accidentally.
that? غرت. Okay, so then the عبد أو عبد أو أمة قيمتها خمس من الإبل. So,
Yes.
so basically, like if you accidentally drop someone's baby, like kill someone's fetus that's in
Yes.
the pregnant woman,
Right,
because
yes.
she fell and then, or whatever,
Yes.
right? Then you have to pay 5 camels. That's, I mean, how much money is that? 10,000, 12,000,
Yeah.
15,000,
Yeah.
$20,000.
You know, for the fetus, it's not given as much value as a person that's alive. So that's what they
Yeah,
say.
so a 20th of what? No.
Right. Yeah, that's what they have.
But
And,
interestingly, I think they're saying that a male or female slave is worth 5
yes,
camels.
that's what the sheikh says. Ibn Qudama.
$10,000.
That one, 5 camels is the value of a slave. So it says, and over here also Ghurat, they translate that. If you look at the explanation, they say that's the soul. So a slave is like a person that has a soul. So that's another
10
meaning for
gold
it.
coins. So a camel is worth 10 gold coins. And okay, how much money is that? $3,500 is a camel. So 5 times that. $15,000. So it looks like the slave is worth maybe $15,000. That's a lot of money still. But I guess, I mean, no, it's a whole person, but you know.
Right, yes. So that's the thing. But slaves, they're considered to be like property, so they
Yeah.
go by the value of them. So that's the case. If it's a free Muslim woman and the person caused her to have the miscarriage, then they have to give the blood money of slave or slave man and slave woman, or 5 camels. Or the slave man and slave woman could be like equivalent to 5 camels. That's what the sheikh said in his time and age when he was there in Syria, in Damascus, in 700 years after the Hijrah. That's what he mentioned there. Okay, so these rules might be different in today's day. So we have to look at the ulama in today's day and age to come up with what's appropriate in these days. Okay, go to number 16, the next one.
ولو شربت الحامل دواء فأسقطت به جنينها فعليها غرة.
Yes.
So if a pregnant woman drinks medicine and causes her fetus to fall, she must pay a blood money payment.
Yes.
And لا ترث منها شيئا. She does not inherit anything from it.
Yes. So normally speaking, the blood money payment goes to her if somebody caused her to have the
She drinks it on
miscarriage.
purpose.
But
She
she took some
pill or something.
pill, something like that, and they caused it. Then she has to pay the blood money, but
To
it doesn't
who?
go back to her. It goes to her husband or the rest of the family.
Oh, as if she would have a child that then inherits from.
Yes, she
whoever
doesn't
inherits
receive
from
that
the
blood
child.
money. So she's not going to pay the blood money and receive it.
So
Goes
if
to the
there's a
rest of the
child
family.
who inherits from the child, it would be the parents.
Yeah, the blood money goes to the family of the deceased. The deceased is no longer there, so it's not going to go to him, right?
No, it would go to the inheritor, yes?
Right, it goes to all the people
So
around
I'm
him.
just asking, for example, if there's a man, a woman with children, daughters and sons,
Yes.
then there's a, let's say, I'm just trying to understand the inheritance of a person that doesn't have any children or wife. So then the parents both get a sixth,
Mhm.
and then the rest goes to their
I
brothers.
think the parents, they get a third if they don't have children, I think. You gotta look in the eye in the
ولأبويه لكل
Quran.
واحد منهما الثلث مما ترك إن كان له ولد سدس مما ترك إن كان له ولد فإن لم يكن له ولد وورثه أبواه فلأمه الثلث
Yes. You know, these things, there's a lot of different scenarios, so you gotta look at the whole
فإن كان
scenario.
له إخوة فلأمه السدس.
Yes.
Okay, so if he doesn't have any brothers, then all of his goes to the parents, who inherit.
Yeah, brothers doesn't
two-thirds
make a
and third.
difference whether he has brothers or not. It's still the same. It's not
No,
gonna
it has.
change
It
it.
says, Sheikh, فإن كان له إخوة فلأمه السدس. Now, so his mother would normally
Oh,
get.
okay. It
Yeah.
says that in there? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
so if he has brothers, then the mother
Yes.
only gets a sixth,
yes.
and the father would get a. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
sure.
Okay,
But anyway,
so-
the brothers do matter. وورثه أبواه فلأمه ثلث. So what happens is, so the mother would get something, but
يورث أولادكم للذكر مثل حظ الأنثيين
yeah.
فإن كان
اثنتين فلهما ثلثان مما ترك وإن كانت
Mhm.
وإن كانت
واحد.
واحدة فلها
فلها
النصف
النصف.
ولأبويه لكل واحد منهما السدس مما ترك إن كان له ولد فإن لم يكن له ولد وورثه أبواه فلأمه الثلث.
Yes, it's not أخ, it's ولد.
فإن كان له
ولد, yes.
Okay, I think
Yes.
so. I'm not sure. Anyway,
Yes, it's not إخوة over there.
Yeah,
so it's
we
أخ,
can look
it's
up
over
the
there.
ayah.
Anyway, they have, that's a whole different lesson over there.
yeah,
on
for sure.
inheritance,
So anyway, so the point is that the mother would get a significant portion of the child, but because she killed it, she doesn't get anything. So basically, it goes to the husband.
Yeah, it goes to the rest of, the people that get the because the person that died, he's not going to get anything, he's dead. So it goes
Is she
to
doing
his,
this on purpose
his
or what?
relatives.
She's doing it on purpose, or she's not?
I think so. I think that's what it indicates there. No?
So okay, so if she on purpose, this is like an abortion, Sheikh,
But yes,
right?
yes.
Because that's what they would do
in.
in the past. I think this was their abortion method.
Yes, that's what it seems like to me.
So then, if today women abort their children against the wishes of the family, because it's not for any reason like
Yeah,
health or whatever.
that's the rule that you have here for a fetus. Refers to that. Refers to.
I didn't know
they
that
use
at
that
all.
same term. Yeah, that's what it's referring to. It's when a person they do harm to a woman and then it causes her to abort or miscarry. That's
So what
that
is the
refers to.
diya here?
Diya is the same as the previous one.
5 camels.
Right. I
So
believe
about
yeah.
$15,000-$20,000.
Right,
That's
yes.
a lot of money.
Yes.
So
Yes.
she has to pay this to the husband then, and she doesn't get anything. If she on purpose.
Yeah, we're gonna see the chapter on who receives the DI. I know there's a lot more chapters on this section on the blood money.
Yeah.
This one is just focused, just the introduction.
No, but that's a very interesting thing I think that no one ever talks about. Because what happens in America, for example, like there's people that are like pro-choice or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, the mother should only decide. But then technically, in this case, even if she went through with it,
Right,
according
yes.
to Islam, she would have to pay the husband
Right, yes.
for
You
killing
have
the
to pay
fetus.
the DIA for it because she killed the fetus,
But unless she had a reason like health or whatever, right?
Yeah, those are the things that there. And it's absolutely not allowed after 4 months. Not
Of
4
course.
months, a soul goes in there.
Yeah.
So definitely not allowed after that.
But like if she's gonna die or something, then we save the mother, right?
Yeah, that's problematic after 4 months, but before 4 months, that's fine. That's what the ulama they say. It's 4 months. They say the soul is not in there, so it's not really
fine. So my question is, what if she takes this medicine and it's 2 months? Does she have to pay the diya or no?
I think you got to look for the judgment on it. What the ulama they say for that reason. I think these cases here, it doesn't mention the age of the fetus, so it would be all the ages up. That's what the assumption is. You got to see if it makes a difference on the age of the fetus. No?
Where does she even pay this money from?
Yeah, that's a problematic also. Usually women, they don't have the funds to pay it. No,
so who would pay it? I mean, it wouldn't be her husband paying it.
She would be owed. She'd owe that money then.
From where? Where is she going to get the money from?
Yeah, she'll die in debt, and that's what will end up happening. She owes the money.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Or, I mean, some women, they work or they have inheritance or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, they have inheritance.
Right, yes.
And they get money from other people. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. ولو شربت الحامل. Oh, that we already said that one. Okay.
Yep.
وإن كان الجنين جنين, is that the correct right word, Sheikh? الجنين.
Yes, جنين.
الجنين كتابيا ففيه 10 دية أمة.
Yes.
So if the fetus is a Christian or Jew, then it is worth 1/10 the blood money of a female slave.
Yes.
Now, what was the money? What was the blood money of a female slave?
Well, female slave is the value of the female slave, and then 1/10 of that you got to pay for if it's because of the miscarriage for a woman, or a Christian woman, or a Jewish woman.
1/10 would be, so 5 camels is a female slave.
Yeah, that's a rough estimate.
So then half a camel.
Half a camel, yeah, that's what it be. So Janine, the one that's in the fetus, they're not given that much value. No.
Yeah, half a camel.
Because it's the child wasn't born yet, and a lot of women, what happens is most of the women when they become pregnant, they have a miscarriage. So that's why.
But no one, that's not on purpose or anything.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, exert yourself. Usually, that's the case.
Yeah.
So that's very common that happens. No? So,
yeah, I don't think most of the women. I think some.
no,
of the
most women they do. Most women that become pregnant, they get miscarriages, and it's only a smaller number that lasts.
But there's no diya for that, right? There would only be a diya for on purpose.
We're gonna make the judgment on it. Is it like her taking the medicine for?
Or she does it on purpose, yeah. Like she just falls down the stairs on purpose.
But I don't think she wanted to. She didn't intend to do that at all. So it's not the case.
Okay. وإن كان عبدا ففيه 10 قيمه أمة.
Yes.
If it is
Ushura 1/10.
عشر. Okay. عشرة.
Yes.
عشر. Or no, عشرة. عشر would be 10 and عشرة would be 10.
Ushur, we would say Ushur.
عشر قيمه أمة. If it a male slave fetus, then it is 1/10 the value of his mother. Oh my God!
Because you have a slave, then mother would be a slave woman.
Okay.
So if it was a male slave, the fetus was a slave woman has a fetus, then it's 1/10 of.
So both the father and the mother are slaves. So the baby is also a slave. So the baby gets, or the fetus gets, the value of
1/10 of her value, because the woman is the one that has
that's like a 10.
the slave
that's like
that's
a
pregnant in her.
That's again a 5. Okay.
So it's 1/10 of her value. No,
then again, it's like half a camel again. Okay.
Right. Yes.
Interesting. وإن سقطت الجنين حيا ثم مات من الضربة من الضربة ففيه دية كاملة إذا كان سقطه لوقت يعيش في مثله.
Yes, so this makes it a little bit more complicated. So if the fetus was older, where if it came out it would still be alive, then they got to pay the full blood money. Not if the previous points were like before, it reached a point where the fetus would be alive. In other words, less than 6 months. No, that's what they
What's
say.
going on here? What? Hang on. So let me read that again. وَإِن سَقَطَتِ الْجِنِينَ حَيًّا. What does that mean? How does it fall alive?
If it comes out alive, the fetus comes out alive. Like you have premature births, right?
Okay.
Normally speaking, if it's miscarriage, the fetus comes out and he's not alive; it's dead.
Okay, so it's an
already
alive delivered child.
if she has a miscarriage and it's like the later stages, and the baby comes out, the baby is alive, right? So normally speaking, it would be alive because
مات من الضربة. So it dies from the hitting.
right. Yes, because usually what will cause a woman to have the miscarriage is somebody would hit her and then she would have the miscarriage. So this is saying that if the fetus was older, and if it came out and would be alive, but because of that it caused it to die, then they have to pay the full blood money, not the partial amount of the blood money.
Okay. إذا كان سقوطه لوقت يعيش في مثله.
Yes,
so what's happening is the bunny is a late stage pregnancy,
yes.
and she gets hit in
Right,
somewhere
yes.
where she has a miscarriage.
Right.
Well, the miscarriage, now there's a delivery of the baby because it's
No,
a big baby.
the baby still is dead, but normally speaking, if it would have came out at that time, it would be alive. That's the point there. I think that's what that means, yeah.
Okay, because it's at a stage like
Yes.
7th, 8th, 9th month, right? 9 months.
Yes, 6 months they have because it's mentioned in the Quran.
Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9 month, 10
Right,
months.
yes.
If you do a late stage, that kind of a push or a kind of something that's
Right,
causing
that
the
causes
person
her to
lose
abort
the child.
Then they got to pay the full amount of blood money.
Oh wow!
Yep.
SubhanAllah. So something like in this case, this would be in the case of accidental or purposeful killing. Right?
You know, I mean, the person, they hit the woman or something like that, and she had a fetus. The woman didn't become harmed, but her fetus became harmed. So this is what that's talking about. The person they're responsible for paying the blood money because he caused the fetus to die.
But what if there's a late stage abortion then on her? Like she intentionally takes a late stage abortion.
That's killing a life then, you know, in Islamic law. That's very serious, you know.
So then that's a diya then.
Yeah, she'd be killed, you know. It's life for a life, right?
Oh wow,
So
subhanAllah.
that's very serious on that, you know. So this is talking about the blood money if somebody caused that to happen.
Yeah, but I mean, she would be killed if the family wants to take revenge, right? Otherwise, they may take blood money too.
If a person they kill another Muslim on purpose, you know, then the law is that the person is killed. That's Islamic law, so that's very serious.
But in the jineen, the
Yes.
family would take revenge, and then what would happen is they would do qisas. But then I thought in the qisas rules that we studied, the qisas would not apply to someone who.
Well, you have two different issues. You have one where it's the family of the one that got killed,
Yeah.
and then you have one that's the government.
Oh, okay.
these
So
usually
if the
refers
government
to-
applies the hudud, then that's a
Right,
different
yes. So
story.
this over here would refer to the time where you didn't have like a government for the whole country.
Yeah.
Every tribe was like separate.
So in that case,
So that's what we have,
the qisas would not apply on the mother for her late stage. Like for example,
That's another issue. A mother's not killed for her child, you know.
yeah.
So that's another issue.
Yeah,
Where the
so
father's
that's
not killed
so
for
then
his
it
son.
wouldn't be death unless we applied the
Right,
hudud
yes.
for some reason.
So that's another issue that comes up too. You know.
Okay.
All those issues are there.
So then the diya would occur, but the diya would occur where the diya can't be received by the
If you
same
go by
person.
the one where the sheikh he said that she takes the medicine that causes her
Okay.
to abort, and you know she's got to pay the 1/10 of the right. That's what it
She
said
must
back there.
pay a blood money. It doesn't say how much.
Yeah, the previous one I think is what it says. And,
It doesn't say. It doesn't specify, Sheikh. It says ولو شربت الحامل دواء فأسقطت به جنينها
Yeah, so she's got to pay the value of a slave that's worth 5 camels.
فعليه غرة.
Yes.
Then she has a غرة.
Yes.
What is a غرة?
The gharaf was the one that talked about
Oh, the
previously.
gharaf.
A slave man or slave woman that was equivalent to 5 camels.
Okay.
Is there, inshallah. Okay, inshallah, let's stop over here. If you want more details of it, you have several other books that you look in Arabic. You
Yeah.
have explanation of the Umda. This is where this comes
The
from.
Mughni.
And then if you want to get more detailed, the Sheikh, he has what's called the Mughni. The Mughni goes into great details, and he talks about the other schools too. Not just the Hanbali school, but the views in the other schools of these issues also. So it's very, the Mughni, it's a very vast, it's almost like 40 volumes, you know. 40 volumes, so there's a lot of information there. So people are looking at to get more details about it, inshallah.
Okay.
And the other thing is that you have today's day and age, and ulama in different ages and societies. Sometimes the situation changes. It's not the same as the old days. So they got to give the rulings on things that are pertinent in today's day and age. Okay, inshallah.
Sounds
So
good,
stop
Sheikh.
over here. So, do you have any questions or comments?
No, yeah, that's good. Alhamdulillah.
Inshallah, jazakallah khair. So these things, people, they learned this is for education. Person, they learn these things, and later on they can base the judgments based on the ilm that they have. That's really what it's about, inshallah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, and and peace and blessings be upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if I said anything from the ilm, from the knowledge, and you take anything from myself, just disregard it, don't go by it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.